wanted to introduce you to what integrated attachment theory is. And I studied under Thais Gibson, who developed the Gibson integrated attachment theory concept. And this is kind of like a marriage of attachment theory and these other components, which are going to be so important, because attachment theory just says what your attachment style is. It doesn't really teach you how to overcome it or how to move towards a secure attachment. If you read some of the works like by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, who developed the attachment theory, their work was so fascinating, and it got this all started. However, it's very high level, and it doesn't really address how to become more secure, especially as adoptees. So that's why we're going to go into the core components of integrated attachment theory. So what this is, it overlaps the attachment styles with these things. So subconscious core wounds that are associated with your attachment style. So core wounds, I mentioned things like the fear of abandonment, the fear of rejection, the feelings of unsafety, unworthiness, or defectiveness. These are core wounds, okay? And raise your hand if you feel like you have any of these core wounds that I mentioned. Yep. I think I had all of the core wounds at some point. So, okay, we're going to be diving into core wounds, and it's going to be so important to recognize what they are, because subconsciously they're kind of deciding how we act in relationships. And it kind of forms a filter of how we see ourselves and how we see the world. Okay, and we sometimes project our core wounds onto other people, and we'll get into that in a lot of detail. All right, the other thing that we're going to look into is our subconscious needs and the relationship expectations associated with our attachment style. So what are our subconscious needs? We all have needs, and sometimes we don't always realize them, but subconsciously it's driving all of our behavior, emotions, and thoughts. And it's really important that we uncover what they are, especially in the context of our relationships. If you think about like our relationships and how our attachment and how we view relationships, kind of like how we view the roles of relationships. When we're young, that's how we form them, you know, because we model them after people we see, our parents, our caregivers, other friends, you know, so they're kind of the rules that we make up around relationships. And if you think about it, everyone has a different set of rules, because everyone grows up in a different type of environment. Even siblings in the same family, they're going to have different perceptions, different core wounds, and so forth.